for fighting a stupid war. You don't have two nickels to rub together because they're screwing us, and you want to play it straight? That's what's going on. Everybody is ripping off the system because they're ripping it off from the top. Our role models are Bush, are Clinton, are Obama, are sleaze, are mass murderers, are psychopaths, and people are paying $35,000 a head to have dinner with them. So, yeah, society's rotting because look at the rot at the top.
But at the same time, there is a big awakening happening. Give us your take on that, and then I want to get into the economics.
The big awakening, and you know, this is something we're going to be writing about more. We're forecasting, Alex, a new age. You know, the new age began with a lot of good intentions back in the late 70s, 80s, and was gaining momentum in the 90s until the internet boom happened. People started making a lot of fake money, and then people started, you know, shopping until they could drop. What a mentality. So now we're being forced into an involuntary, voluntary simplicity, where you're looking at what's really important in life. Friendship, love, companionship, doing kind things to each other, living by the golden rule. We're going to see a revival in religion, not the standard religions, but we're forecasting something new. I don't want to call it spirituality or even New Age, because that puts labels on them that really, you know, makes them, it kind of pigeonholes them. But something greater than that.
You're saying people are starting to awaken spiritually. That always happens during a crisis.
Exactly. And there are a lot of wonderful people in this country. And if I were to add them up, I would add up there are more great people in this country than slimers. It's only that the slimers do the dirty deals. The slimers are your senators, your congressmen, the gang of 535 that run the country. Look what they're talking about. Reed's calling this guy a liar. Lindsey the Graham crackers calling Reed a liar. Who could believe either of them? You know, it's Disney World for adults. So what we're saying is that's only a small part of society. When things start breaking down, you start seeing a build-up spirituality, and I believe that's the only thing that could save us. The only thing. I've said this before. There's that wonderful Hindu saying, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Anybody that's studied at anything knows what I'm talking about.
You're right. And as the New Trends Journal says, and we say something similar, you are the answer, you are the resistance. These churches want to control you and make you, you know, feel like you need them when most of them are 501c3, and we've proven are getting direct Homeland Security orders. I've gone and spot-checked local churches, and I mean, you're going to worship the government, you're going to do what they say. I mean, this is like Soviet Russia or something, because they still had churches. They were just government mouthpieces. And just like Christ said, you're not going to find the Spirit of God in most of these churches. And, you know, he talked about the Pharisees up on the hill praying in front of everybody because they want everybody to know how good they were instead of praying in their closet. And people are going to find out that the materialism is not going to empower them. In the hierarchy of needs, sure, you need to be taken care of, you need to be comfortable, you know, but that's not the final equation. You don't sell out for status and baubles. Those don't fulfill you. That's why the globalists want to keep you so poor you can't even get the basics that you've got to have, so they can control good people by making you do bad things for the chicken feed they give you. That's why they want a post-industrial world. That's why they want people to not have quality that you talk about. We have sold our souls for this plastic Walmart death pit. Now, let's look at the New Trends Journal. You're breaking down what's happening with LIBOR, what's happening with the economy, what's happening with the global meltdown. We're seeing about the banks siphoning off money, the stock market being rigged. It seems like, Gerald, everything's now coming out. HSBC financing Al-Qaeda, big banks financing the drug lords, owning the aircraft. It's all coming out now break it down for us, go over it. Because, I mean, what does this mean? Everything we've talked about has come out and more. Just manifest criminality in our faces.
The LIBOR scandal should be the biggest story of the 21st century. They rigged the interest rates. All those interest rates that you're paying on your mortgage, your car loan, your credit cards, your student loans, they're all rigged. And they rig them knowing where they're going to go so they could place bets on it. So they made fortunes on this. So what was the penalty for example, Barclays, the first one caught in it? Nothing. They got $400 million fine. I think that was like 5 days worth of profits. And what happened to the guy, Robert Diamond? Oh, I'm sorry, I'll quit. I'll go away with my $100 million and I won't do dirty business anymore. Nobody's head rolls. And now we're finding out all the banks that are involved in this. No heads roll. The point being is that then we just saw this night fiasco last week when their system went amok. The point being is that all of this trading that's going on Wall Street is just nothing more than gambling, this high-frequency trading. It's estimated between 60 and 80% is done by computers. This isn't investing. The whole game is rigged. And guess what? You're not in it. You will never be in it. Only a small number of people are in it. Why do you think guys like Romney, why do you think guys like Buffett, why do you think guys like all of these guys make all of this money? Because they're in on the inside deal. End of story, period, paragraph. The whole game is rigged. And as you pointed out, they're laundering drug money. What a surprise. Gee, I never would have known that. Yeah, I had no idea. Couldn't be, because that's why they wanted to open up all these branches throughout South America and why all the money was flowing into Miami. Jeez, blow me over. Oh, and nope, isn't it something that there are no government agencies watching this, and they were caught off guard? It's one criminal operation.
Oh, but don't worry. They're giving vandalism charges to children and parents who on their own, driveway to the sidewalk draw little suns and trees and birdies like my kids do. The policemen come and arrest mommy now. And don't you try to sell lemonade, you American scum slave. You go buy a high fructose corn syrup knockoff at McDonald's or we're going to arrest your butt too. I mean, they're now giving $1 million fines to garage sales. I mean, every day now I see articles where they're not letting people have gardens in their backyards because you don't have a garden, prisoner. I mean, this government is a bunch of lunatics.
That's what I was saying. And so what are you and I and others that you have on your show trying to do? We're for terrible things, and they should watch us. We don't want to kill anybody. We don't want to go in other countries and kill them. That doesn't mean I'm a pacifist. I'll protect myself. I practice close combat. That's a totally different thing. But I won't go kill an innocent person. I won't go into another, oh, what's wrong with you? How come you don't want to do that? What else don't we like to do? Well, you and I, people want to drink raw milk. Hey, that's your business. Oh, no. That's not good for agribusiness. You've got to get rid of Salenti and Jones over there. These guys are troublemakers. Organic food, those GMO foods, they're all good for you. Hey, how about what's that new study coming out? That flavored butter crap blows your brains out? Hey, that flavored butter crap is good for you.
Oh, no, the corn that 87% of people are eating sterilizes the guinea pigs. Oh, I'm sure that's an accident, too.
Yeah, so we're against that. That makes us bad people. Oh, you and I, we're talking about the golden rule, do unto others. We talk about dignity, respect, and courage and passion. Isn't that terrible? Can't have any of that. Not when you have leaders to follow. How could anybody... Look, I began my career running political campaigns in Westchester County in 1971, the richest county in the United States. I was the assistant to the secretary of the New York State Senate, and I taught American politics and campaign technology at St. John's University. One of the first courses, I designed it in the nation. Never in my life have I seen a presidential reality show like this one, where so few people care about it, and it's as lame as it can be. What is it all about? Obama's saying, I want to see Romney's taxes. Now Trump is coming out, I want to see Obama's grades or whatever from grad school or high school or kindergarten, whatever that is. If anybody came out with economic plans like either of these two clowns, and they were taking Economics 101 in a community college, they would fail because they're so lame, what both of these candidates are saying.
Well, that's because they're owned by the same people, as you know, so they can't debate on any real issues because that would expose the whole scam. And like you were saying about the stock market, it's all done on insider trading now. That's why they jack it up and bring it down over and over again, holding everybody hostage with their pension funds and 401ks invested in it. And then you look at the way the rules have all been written. All these billionaires are exempt from the taxes. They get all the tax exemptions. I've got almost 50 employees here in Austin, Texas. I don't get jack crap. I've checked into it. I've been laughed at because I'm known as the chump, the sucker, the schmuck, the idiot, the mark, the American piece of trash. I am seen as nothing but a big blood bag for these mosquitoes to feed off of.
Yeah. Anybody that works for a living is. And that's what happened to this country. Because just like you employ 50 people, there used to be people in this country, they had things called, ladies' men's shops and, haberdashers and women's clothing. And they sold trinkets and this and that. It's been taken over. It's been taken over by Walmart. It's been taken over by Target. It's been taken over by Macy's. It's been taken over in the agricultural business by Smithfield, by Tyson, by Cargill, one after another. The communications business, Clear Channel. Ain't nothing clear about that. It's clear crap controlled by a small group. Oh, who did that one? Yeah, it was Bill Clinton, wasn't it? Yeah. And you could go down the list. So what they've done, Alex, is they've chipped the entire field for the benefit of the few. For the few rich, and everybody's become a slave for them. It's a plantation economy. It's better than the plantation because in the plantation you had to house them and they had to feed them. Now you're on your own. You have just enough so you can live off the plantation. We're not responsible for you. Just make sure you get back here at work in the morning or at night or whenever. So we have a society where we have what? 58% of the employment participation rate? 58%?
It's an incredibly destructive system. We're almost out of time. I know you've got to go to another interview here. Again, Gerald Celente joins us. You can go to his website that's been on screen there, and you can subscribe. You can get the trends alerts, but also the Incredible magazine. It's all available right there on their website. But, Gerald, in closing, how big is LIBOR, though, to know now that it's all been rigged? Everybody's basically a plaintiff. You got ripped off by MF Global. It really does. I think one of our only other hopes is not just the spiritual awakening, people taking action and a new renaissance, but isn't it just that the controller's craziness may undo them as well?
Yes, it is. But then again, you see the timeline. The crash of '29, the Great Depression, currency wars, trade wars, world war. The panic of '08, the Great Recession/Depression, currency wars going on, trade wars heating up, world war is going on. So when all else is gone, they take us to war. These are sick people. That's my concern. And when you look at the LIBOR and you look at all the scandals going on, again, stay tuned to Europe because they're going to come out with another scheme to buy the crappy bonds that they can't sell. It's going to make it look like things are going to be okay again. It's not. It's not. And remember the equation. Europe and the United States are the two greatest buyers